there are many situations in life where it's natural to be a bit nervous. For example, if you're going for a job interview. But at the same time, you want to give the impression that you're really confident. So what can you do? Now, experts tell us that over 50% of effective communication is down to our body language, and very little is to do with the words that we say. So how can we make sure that our body language is really top notch so that we give the impression that we're really confident in whatever situation we're going into? Well, one thing we can do is to remember the acronym SOFTEN, S-O-F-T-E-N. What does it stand for? Well, the S stands for smile. Whatever the situation you're going into, if it's a job interview or whatever it might be, it's important to just remember the simple thing about smiling, because that will help you to relax. It helps the person that you're communicating with to relax as well. So make sure you're smiling. Not a permanent cheesy grin, but just a natural smile. And then we've got O, which stands for open. And it's important that our gestures are open in our body language. So that means we're not folding our arms, we're not crossing our legs, that we keep our arms open, we're not slouching, our shoulders are back. And when you're communicating, if you're like me, you might want to use your hands and your arms. Again, keep your upper arms close to your body, but it's natural to just use your arms, have your palms open towards the person you're talking to, and that just gives and creates an impression of being an open person, and that will help them to want to be open with you as well. What else have we got? The letter F, which stands for forward. If you're sitting down, it can be really beneficial if you slightly lean forward, because that again gives the impression that you're interested in the person that you're talking to. If it's an interview, it shows that you're really listening to them and that you're totally engaged in the conversation. Whereas the opposite, if you're leaning back and you're slouching back, that kind of gives the impression that you're not really interested in what they're saying and you'd rather be elsewhere. So slightly leaning forward, leaning into them can really help. Touch. Now again, this happens in the introductory stage when you're communicating with someone. Just a firm handshake is all you need. There's nothing much more to say about that. Eye contact, that's what E stands for. It's really important when you're talking as well as when you're listening that you maintain eye contact. The occasional glance away is not a problem, and it can be, helpful to do that as well, but it's really important that you maintain eye contact when you're listening or you're doing the talking. And then finally, nod. That's what N stands for. So when you're listening in particular, you're nodding to give the impression that you are listening to that person, and that person will then have the confidence to continue talking. And so if you're maintaining eye contact and you're nodding to what they're saying, that really shows that you're listening, and hopefully the other person will do the same to you as well. So there's a few things that you can do to help build your confidence when you're communicating with others. And when your body language is confident, hopefully the words that you say will flow and be naturally confident as well.